This world can't change without creativity, because creativity is the inherent feature of human intelligence, and its desire to be unstoppable. This is how humanity developed its life into a better one. Creativity is what makes life better, and gives life a meaning that accompanies us while we overcome all obstacles. Creativity is necessary to change our life, but how to be creative? This is the difficult question that man couldn't answer. Here comes the book I Want to Be Creative to tell us how to be creative, and how to create ways that make us more creative in an annoying and boring world. I Want to Be Creative by Harriet Griffey. The question of creativity is always a different question, and you may not be able to come up with the exact meaning, and sometimes words fail you in expressing a single word that explains the characteristic of this world and its basic feature. But we can simply say that it is a personal expression in the way that each one of us chooses. It is not a unique form, nor a specific color. Each one has his own creative kind of language, way of dressing, cooking, reading, or having artistic expressions. This means that the process of creativity is not that complicated as some people assume. Whenever we face a problem and look for a solution, method, or a way, this is considered a kind of creativity. And every idea, perception, or pattern that helps us to get to know life, its methods, and its beauty is considered a creative vision. All these different human expressions that makes the individual pleased and satisfied are considered a kind of creativity, as it does not require imagination only, but requires other things to reach a satisfying result. Bit to remember, being creative is the way that enables you to discover yourself. In every creative process, there is a value that a person gains, whether he pays attention to it or not. It is no secret to everyone that creativity is the best value that give this existence a special charm, and make our lives something that can be achieved, even after a while. And if we want to clearly define the value of creativity, we can look closely at various fields, especially the economic field, as we live in a world driven by the economy and the business world. Nothing can progress, develop, or generate profits without considering creativity as the added value of this industry or trade. This is what major companies and big businesses realized when they transformed large businesses and trades into creative ideas and opened up to new sources capable of facing problems or creating ways to solve them. But how do we get there? It is not impossible, but it needs to think in different ways to reach solutions in which constraints are seen as challenges, and this comes from the ability to think in a creative way. Bit to remember, the value of creativity makes people look for different ways to reach satisfying results. God created all human beings with brains that distinguished them from other creatures with a degree of awareness and intellectual development. But in spite of that, many of us see creativity as an incredible thing, or often do not dare to try our creative recipe in facing life and its difficulties and challenges, so we only imitate and follow the ancestors and grandparents. Many believe that creativity is related to the neuroplasticity of the brain, as by the response and adaptation of the neural pathways, connections occur between different parts of the brain, and they have a major role in turning brains into creative tools. This vital and natural aspect of our creation as evolving human beings regarding the brain makes our brains subject to various stimuli such as new sounds, scenes and feelings which generates a kind of connection between the nerves in the brain through neural connections. Increasing the nerves, pathways, and neural connections also increases the chances of generating an infinite number of ideas and solutions, and gives the ability to create and go off the beaten path. Bit to remember, our brains are naturally prepared to be creative, they only need motivation. Creativity is within us, it just needs discovery, search and learning, but it is also that hidden thing that is removed by a group of intellectual and cultural obstacles that we inherited from generation to generation without knowing its real danger. We can summarize the obstacles that hinder creativity in our lives into self-censorship. It is when your inner voice, in the back of your mind, always tells you that everything is impossible to reach. Functional fixedness. This fixedness means the way we think about things, when we are obstinate or inflexible in our thinking due to a daily routine that we are subject to in our various jobs. Fear of failure. The fear of failure is the real failure, when we fear losing others' support, or even avoid their ridicule. Seeking perfection, which means that creativity is a process of discovery, so nothing can be perfect. Bit to remember, creativity is a continuous process, but there are some obstacles that may stop it.